Are you looking to travel for the first time? Or are you a seasoned traveler and you probably haven't traveled in a while? You need some tips, a little refresher? Then this is definitely the video for you. I saw a video that my friend Sabrina did. She has a page called Travel with Sabrina, and she shared some tips the other day for travelers who are looking to plan trips by themselves.
My husband and I have been to countries in Central America, South America, in the Caribbean, and also North America, and I think these tips are really good, so here they are.
Number one tip that I would always tell persons to do is book directly with the airline. And it's very easy to do. You go on the website, you book it, you look at your dates that you want, and a lot of airlines have apps as well, and you get up to the minute updates on your flights. I always book my hotel or wherever I'm staying before I even book the flight. A lot of platforms, for example, booking.com is my favorite platform to use. So you can always book with booking.com, secure your dates for where you want to stay, and you don't have to pay until you reach there most of the time. So most times I look for hotels like that because anything can happen and I'm paranoid. So another thing I always encourage persons to have is travel insurance. Travel insurance is so important because you don't plan for accidents, but things can happen. Anything can happen. Travel insurance that includes flight cancellation, lost baggage, or even health emergency, COVID coverage. Those are very, very important. So we always use Seven Corners, but there's another agency that we usually use called IMG Travel. So if you Google those, you'll find them. But with the travel insurance, it's very important. My husband and I do a lot of risky excursions sometimes, but we also usually up our insurance a little bit more to cover accidents. Connections, staying connected. If you're traveling, you want to be able to stay connected, and sometimes you don't want to have to roam. Roaming is so expensive. So what we usually do is we pay for an eSIM, a data eSIM, and we always use Airlo. Airlo is our favorite to use, and if you want $3 off your purchase with Airlo, you can use this code right here and you'll get $3 off. But we always use it. It provides you with data coverage. Another thing persons usually ask, which I think is definitely up to how you what your spending habits are and how you travel, is how much money to carry. Usually I would suggest to persons to have between $500 to $800 cash on them, just in case, because in a lot of places you go to cash is king. Have your credit card. It's best to use a credit card if you're traveling. I always say that because it's safer, it's more secure. And then also notify your bank when you're traveling so that you don't have any issues and embarrass yourself on road when you go to swipe your card and it not work. Another thing I always suggest persons do is to ensure that they have transportation on the ground. A lot of countries have Uber, but especially if you land in the country for the first time, you want to ensure that you talk to the hotel that you're going to stay at, and ask them if they can arrange transportation from the airport to the hotel for you. A lot of hotels will have free transportation from from airport to hotel. So I think that's always a good option for persons. Additionally, you can always, I always suggest it to persons, especially if you're a confident driver, to rent a car. Why not? If you are a confident driver and you want to explore at your own pace, that's something that my husband and I love to do. We love to explore at our own pace. It's like to take it easy, drive around. That way you find some unexpected spots. I think this is especially for my Jamaicans. If you're used to driving on Jamaican roads, driving overseas is nothing, trust me. Another thing I always suggest persons do if they're going to be traveling to a different country is to download some very important apps. So our favorite apps to use are Airlo app, Google Translate, Google Maps or Waze, Uber if you're going to be getting around, your travel insurance app, and then lastly the airline app that you're going to be flying with. So if you use booking.com, for example, or Airbnb, have those apps. Those are our favorite apps to use, so those are the ones we're suggesting. Any other app I don't really know about because I don't really use the other ones. So another thing that you need to ensure that you do is to make sure that your passport is valid for at least 6 months. So before all of that hassle and stress, I should have said this at the top, but make sure you have at least 6 months on your passport, or more than 6 months. Let's just ensure that you have a proper amount of time on your passport. When you're booking, you need to book a round trip. So if you're going on if you're doing one-way trips tend to expect you to have a return date. So that's just another thing I need to share. Have a return date for your flight. I always encourage persons to flight track. Google Flights and Skyscanner are my two favorite ways to flight track. What you do is you go on Google Flights, for example, or Skyscanner, and you put in your dates for where you want to go, and they'll allow you the option to track the flights and get alerts for when the prices drop, or they'll also suggest different dates for you, and it will allow you to make a more informed decision. Another tip that I found out the other day, you're able to bid for first class upgrade. For example, on Copa Airlines, they allowed us to upgrade our tickets. You can bid to upgrade. So we bought a regular basic economy ticket for our last one of our last trips to Colombia. And what happened is that I noticed that they sent an email saying that, oh, you can bid because there are some seats that in first class, closer to the time though, there are seats in first class that persons they were not able to fill, so they will start bidding for as low as even $50. So we got to upgrade to first class for under $100, because first class tickets can be like $3,000, $4,000. And then also, don't be afraid to speak up and ask for what you want, especially if you're traveling in early morning or late at night. We always find that early morning flights and late night flights we get through the quickest. We went up to the kiosk on an early morning flight, checking in and everything, and the night before I was trying to pay for premium seats that are closer up to the front, or I wasn't able to do it. I went up to the front and I was like, can we get, she just asked, I said to her that I had issues getting the seat that I wanted, and she just turned around the screen and said, which seat do you want? I was like, up there please. And she just gave it to us, didn't have to pay. So I always say, ask for what you want, and just try and see if you'll get a free upgrade or anything like that. You never know. So I decided to add this part in as well. So if it looks different, it's because it's later. So the best months that we found to travel are January, February, March, and September, October, November. You'll find the best deals when you're doing your flight tracking, that during shoulder season months you'll have better luck in finding some really good airfare prices. So, and then also another thing that I want to share with you guys with regard to temperature, be sure to check the temperature for countries before you go there. We almost made that mistake when I was planning Hakeem's surprise birthday trip to Colombia. I didn't check the temperature because in my mind I'm thinking Colombia, but when I was thinking of Colombia at the time I was thinking Cartagena, and Cartagena is different from where we were actually going, which was Bogota. And I was telling him to pack like tropical clothing when Bogota is cold. That's a very easy mistake to make. Another tip I have for you guys is to follow the airlines that you are interested in traveling with on their social media pages. So a lot of airlines will post deals and information about flights and destinations that they have. Some airlines have destinations of the month, for example Copa, so they will show that destination, and they'll also provide you with a discount for that destination if they're bigging it up a little bit for that month. One airline that always has random deals is Arajet always posts about some deal. Another airline is Delta. I think Delta has deals, especially like for New York or Chicago. I've seen for Atlanta, if you want to go to those places as well. Top destinations I always suggest to persons to travel to are, for example, if you're Jamaican and you want to experience a culture that's not too far off from yours, it's close enough, is Dominican Republic. We very much enjoyed our time in Dominican. You can find waterfalls there, beaches there, but one of our favorite countries to go to is Colombia, for sure. Colombia, it gets a bad rep because of things that we won't discuss, but I think Colombia has so much to offer. If you go there, you can ball on a budget. It's the perfect destination. We love Bogota. We've been to Bogota and Medellin. We love Bogota because it's cold and nice. We love to experience places that are cold. So Bogota is really cold. My favorite country I would suggest to anybody is Costa Rica, but you need a visa to get there. So if you have an American visa or a Canadian visa, you can get there. So yeah, those are my top tips for traveling and planning by yourself. Also, let me know what other videos you want to see from me. I'm so excited for you for taking this step for wanting to travel. You're gonna have so much fun wherever you choose to go. So bye.